conference, name the location, it does not really matter. If you lack communication skills, you're always going to feel uncomfortable, even if it's a one-on-one conversation with a good friend, or even facing something that is absolutely crucial, like an interview. Communication skills is the most important element that everybody is looking for. Why are they looking for good communication skills? Let's understand this. Communications connect one another. They bring you and groups of people together. They help you bring about the message that you have and what it is that you want to bring out of yourself in order for people to have faith, trust, and understand what it is that you understand differently. Communications help understand the differences and the similarities of people. Join the ICP.
Hello, everybody. How are you keeping? Welcome to this brand new episode of How Are You Going to Be Responsible in Society? I hope I got the title of today's discussion correctly, and I hope all of you are feeling excited about this preview where I take a bus from one township in Dubai right to the borders of Sharjah, which is another township and most likely a city district in these disciplined streets of Dubai and Sharjah. One of the most amazing things that I like about this city is people stick to their lane. Everybody sticks to their lane because anybody missing out from the lane can cause a very, very bad situation, and you don't want that to happen. Um, Nitara, what's your thoughts on this? Kalan, what's your thoughts on this? What do you think about the street? Can you see the people waiting there? Just waiting for their turn to cross. That's it. Can you see the people scorching under the sun there? There you go. You can see it. They're waiting for their turn to cross. Yeah. And I'm telling you, the streets are hard. You can cook an egg here. You feel like cooking an egg. Let me give you a landscape view. Let's see if this landscape view is nice. All right, there you go. Do you like the landscape view? If you do, please do give a thumb and some likes and throw in your comments. If you know this beautiful city and this place, to mention it. All right, let's bring in some learners and let's tell me what you see. Backstage, would you be able to give us a different view where the landscape view of this view is also available? Thank you very much. Kalan, tell us what you see. Come on, go ahead. I'm not sure if Kalan is on the driving seat or something. There is a beep sound coming in the background. Is that your UPS? Sounds like a big truck backing. You know, have you heard a big truck back? Like a huge truck going on reverse. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, Kalan? I like the name of the road. Dajjad Road. That's it. We're on the move. Can you see how big that queue is? Just to take a what I like about these stops and the announcement is just before we reach it, You can see the exhaust right on top of the bus. The exhaust is on top of the bus. It's just on top of the bus, just there. It's not at the bottom, it's on the top. So it's kind of fancy. Just before you reach the stops, you get the announcement of which the stop is. Kind of cool, organized. And what breaks my heart is that this city you see, these buildings could not have existed 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I'm sure this was more like barren land. Most of it, of course. 99% of it could be. 30 years ago was more likely just nothing, just desert, sand. It's the discipline of how rulers and how visionary rulers and people get together is what makes this city. And responsibility is also emphasized, like everybody has a part to play, from the simple pedestrian um, to anyone. Name their responsibility, they've got to be, name their occupation, they've got to play responsibility. Is something that I really like about the city, and I often wonder back, why is it that we are unable to bring into this stencil is because we lack the exposure, or we lack the necessary expression of people to understand what it is that we are looking for. You know, the masses of our society and the masses of our culture don't know that this kind of thing actually exists, and it's possible to actually exist. So it announces the terminal as well. All right, getting off. Thank you. That's Ace hypermarket. Looks pretty cool, right? The size of it. Yeah, the proper huge hypermarket. And again, right in the middle of the road, can you see that? The responsibility. They're under the sun. They're not moving until they get green. Until they are clear for the road, they ain't moving. This is discipline. This is the kind of discipline that we need to bring back home. It's not going to be easy. Nice turn. Ooh. See how this car merges in? There you go. I'm almost super confident to like express this. Let's see how this guy is going to slow down here. Whether he's going to be entertained slowing down here. No, he's not. He's moving. That's a taxi guy. He did not want to break a rule. Stay tuned. I'm going to enter this particular mall over here in a few minutes. You have to, of course, walk through this desert patch here, which is, ooh, it's hot. The sun's hot. It's scorching hot. Another one, Terminals 2. Absolutely amazing expression. Wait till you see how I check out from the bus, though. Diversity of people over here and the tolerance of different types of nationalities. Okay, so it gives you by minute, the stops, what time it is here right now. I still have my watch program to Sri Lankan timing so that I can keep a track of what's happening back at home and what you guys are up to, whether I'm on time or not. And it has each and every minute changed through. An advertisement back there on the board. Kind of cute to get out of here. I'm guessing many people want to get off here. Off footstep. Well, that can use a little bit of help. We can go as foot off step. But I'm guessing there's a direct translation of Arabic to English there. So it's more likely subject, object, verb, verb, object, subject, a kind of a switch over there. You'll find these kind of boards all over, majority. Off footstep, which means don't put your foot on the step. Alrighty. So this is called an old card. I need to get myself queued out over here this way. Ah, now I'm clear to go. That's how I get off the.
Good evening, everyone. And today's topic is how can you act responsibly in society? So I hope I said that right. And our first speaker will be Kalan. Kalan, over to you.
Protecting our planet. Earth. The Earth is the only planet and human and animals can survive. If we don't protect it, animals and humans will go extinct. We can protect our planet by planting trees, not pollution oceans, not killing any animals, like that. Our planet is in lot of danger because of human activities. We pollute the ocean like that. We cut off trees. That's why our earth is dying. Uh, now, earth, without earth, I said, like animals, humans, and even trees cannot survive. We cannot survive in another world too because the earth is the only planet that trees, uh, air, and water have. Some planets have only ice. Some planets have only dust, like that. That's why I'm saying right here, don't destroy anything. Help the earth. Don't put trash everywhere. Plant more trees. Don't kill any animals. Now, save earth, save life. Thanks.
Thank you, Kalan. And we do have to protect our planet. So, if we don't protect our planet, what do you think will happen? Kalan, can you hear us?
Sorry, I got stuck.
Ah, okay. So if I were to ask you a question on how to be responsible in society, could you give us a few examples on how to be responsible in society?
Okay, now we can just plant trees like in just plain areas. It's only like grass like this. We can plant a tree like one tree even counts. One tree is a one life saved. Now, some we cannot pollute the ocean. Like now, if we are in the beach, if we just drink a bottle and not throwing it to the ocean, like putting it in the bag or putting it near a trash bin like that. Or we cannot just kill anything. Now, I now meat is something that people eat, but they always do it very often. Unless they don't actually go and just get the stuff, they do it for fun. They don't have meaning from killing. Those are the biggest mistakes we do. The one of the biggest things we do just like in the ozone layer. Now we put out tons of gases like this. Now cars and vehicles. Now, is it is okay? But often ride a bicycle, walk to some place like this. Don't use cars and bicycle often. Those are like examples that biggest.
Thank you, Kalan, for making a very good point on how we should save our planet. Now I will be calling Hamza to give us some information on how we can be responsible in society. Over to you, Hamza.
Thank you. How will you be responsible in society? Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about how will you be responsible in society. Being responsible in society comes in many ways. For an example, like when you see a big stone or a thorn in a pathway, you pick it up and throw it somewhere safe. And another example of how will we be responsible in society is if you see an old person or a blind person trying to cross the road, you should be quick and try to help them. By doing that, you are being responsible to the society. When we perform uh, s- when we perform such kind acts, we are we are spreading kindness and giving a positive message to the society. Today be we should all be kind to each other and the people in need, because there are many people that need help and need help that need and people we should thank Thank you for taking your time and listening to my speech. Hope you in, hope you got hope you were inspired by what I my few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamza, for that very informative but short speech. So, if I were to ask you a question, which is if you saw someone breaking the law, could that lead to a really big problem in society?
Yes, it will be a big problem because
Okay, thank you. Your speech is very nice and very informative. Now I would like to call Sesita. Sesita, can you hear us? I don't think Sesita can hear us. So if so Sesita has Coach Shuhaib is back.
I'm guessing Sesita wasn't able to connect because of pure connectivity issues, and I hope that's all right. I'm trying my level best to position myself in this ideal screen over here, so please forgive me. I was on the move and I've got here. Today's topic is very, very important, and it's one of the most precious topics that I would ever have the opportunity to speak on, which is asking not just your intellectuality, but also your civic responsibilities as to how you would feel responsible in society. Um, if I was to answer this question, and if I was to put my courage in my age and place it together with the courage that you're having at your age, and I would say is that um, I would help people to dream bigger. I would help people to dream better. Um, I would help people to connect the dots on how they can make things that are difficult much easier, and how they can make um progress on trying to find solutions for some real problems now itself. And I would try to nurture the instrumental thought of playing your part as a person in society to serve society. One of the big errors that I see that we human beings do, so I'm not talking about caste or creed or anything whatsoever, is that I see that the other creations, they have a beautiful way of playing their part in nature, however they play their part. But we humans tend to fail that, and we become quite selfish, and we only think about ourselves, and in this manner we become very unproductive towards the others. What builds a nation and what builds goodness for a future is the services that we provide. And the more selfish we get, the less the services the next generation gets, the less the knowledge that they get, because you're trying to make advantage of them. So how I would be playing my part and how I would be responsible in society is, I would see responsibility is something like leadership. It is leadership. You take it on. It's a choice. You need to feel responsible. If you don't feel responsible, you're just automatically irresponsible, right? So you need to take that choice that I am at an advantage in compared to the other children, or I'm at an advantage in compared to the rest of the people around me, which is I have the ability to connect with people around the world. I know how to utilize the most modern age of technology. Um, I also know how to um, put a message across, and I would emphasize that. Like, help people to dream bigger, help people to think bigger, and don't get don't get too clustered into just entertainment. Entertainment is good. Care Bears are good, unicorns are good, um, cartoons are good, animation is good, everything is good. But don't get clustered around it. Don't make it your life. I would take this message out to people. I would play that part if I was a child in your age, and I would stretch that message out to them. That's how I would be responsible in society. Because when you're a little made person, big made people don't tend to take you seriously, right? So you got to have to connect with that same age, and connect with them on that particular age. So you might as well wing it, like connect with them like on that same phase, like connect with them by saying like, listen, I'm cool because I'm thinking a few steps ahead of you. Imagine you're that one friend among all your other friends, and that's society. That's a little piece of society. You're that one kid among all the other kids, and you're that one dude or that one girl among all the girls and among all the dudes who is a few steps ahead of the others. And that's a choice you make. And um, anybody who just wants to do things just because people are doing it, it means that you're not creative, you're not smarter, you're just going with the wind. I mean, going with the wind is good, but not all the time, because sometimes the wind blows in the wrong direction, and that's you don't want to just have your sails that time. You just want to put your sails down and just want to head towards the destination you want to go, wherever you want to go, right? So playing your part on being playing your part in being responsible in society is a choice. Make that choice to feel responsible. When you see something on the floor that needs to get to the bin, you make that choice. You see somebody making an error, you want them not to make that error. Express it. Know your place, of course, and think more and beyond yourself, because not everybody is privileged as much as you are in order to have the tools to connect with the world, have the necessary investments for you to upskill yourself. Now that's a real deal thing, okay? You are right now upskilling yourself. You're able to speak to one another. Now Kalan is sharing his ideas with Hamza is sharing his ideas with Nitara, and so with the other junior fishers and everybody. You're just sharing your ideas with each other, and you're able to connect with each other, and that requires a certain set of benefits. That requires having not just electricity. You need connectivity. You need devices. You need funds to express on those things. Right now, you're feeling comfortable, but you must understand that there is somebody out there for you who is making time to make the money in order to pay for this particular service, and that's a privilege. That's a privilege right now. You must acknowledge that. Yes, you must acknowledge that. So you must feel the need to feel more responsible, because there are people who are less privileged than this. There are children your age right now, they have no idea what to do. But they are, of course, learning different things. They're learning how to get a mango off a tree. Yes, there are. And you must learn it too. But if you take the extra step to feel more responsible, you can make the world a better place, because we are in the communications world, and your ideas mean something, and you have to connect something together with them. And it's not just about what others have got to say, it is how you think and how you want to say certain things, right? So you want to be responsible in society, take lead, accept that responsibility, make it your responsibility in order to help people think bigger, do better, and scope. All right, I'll just give you a quick preview around this place. Just take a look at it. Oh, sorry for dropping you all. Not intended. All right, it's a lot of, yeah. Starbucks. That wasn't a paid commercial. Okay. Over to you, host.
Thank you, sir, for giving your idea on how we can be responsible in society and showing us a brief view of them all. Thank you. So because I don't think any of our other speakers will be able to join today, so I'll finish off with mine. How can we be responsible in society? Why should we be responsible in society? So that we can make our society better, stronger, and grow more to help the neighborhood or even the country. Now, some people act very irresponsibly, like scribbling on public walls, damaging private property, and many more. So that affects society. And who's going to pay for all of that? So most people are working for their families. And the person who commits the crime is the one who's going to have to pay for it at the end. So that's just a waste of money and work. So to avoid that, there are many solutions that many people don't think about really. And children can't even learn properly because of politics, riots, and strikes. Because of that, everyone is leading to protests, and police have to take extreme measures to stop the violence. So as children, how can we be responsible in society? We can stand up for others. We can embrace the differences in our society. We can suggest ideas to help the neighborhood or the city. Solving problems without violence, that is a major thing. And a good example for a leader who did that is Muhammad Gandhi. He led hunger strikes when Britain took over India, and he did it all without violence. And we can learn a thing or two from him. So we can also solve many mistakes that the current society has made. And as children, we need to learn new things, but we need to learn the good things and not the bad things to make the world a better place. And I will finish off with a quote. The betterment of society is not a job to be left to a few. It is a responsibility to be shared by all. David Packard. I hope you enjoyed my speech. Hope I made a point. Thank you for your time. I'm Nitara Disanayak. Thank you. And
Colombo, are you really good with
whoever's watching, and thank you for your time today.
Colombo, are you really good with ideas but need help with expressing and presenting it to your team or an audience or a group of people, whatever you might call it? I have had these similar problems too. Sometimes we know what to say, how to say it, but the struggles to express it to an audience is tough to understand, and expression becomes almost impossible. I needed help. We need help. Practice, and most importantly, coaching. Now I am able to express myself. I am trying to master the skills of presentation, but perfection is a process and it's a journey. Anything to become a public speaker and to be confident is my game, and I like to do it. So do yourself a favor. Join me, click the link and sign up, and I shall be able to give you a free consultation on how we can go about the next